So now we've got the story about Greta Thunberg, who was going out to save the Palestinians on a boat that didn't have any food or water. They needed to be given food and drink from the Israeli army because their boat had none on there. So what was they going out there for? They're going out there for a publicity stunt, and it was a crap one. They need to stay popular.
A violation of international rights, adding
You have not got the right to go into other people's country. That's called invasion.
to the list of countless of such, especially towards Palestinians, that
Well, you're not Palestinians.
Israel are committing by blocking and preventing humanitarian aid from entering Gaza. That is illegal. We need so much more than that. When there's even a risk of genocide, but they did an illegal act by kidnapping us on international.
They didn't kidnap you, they stopped you from entering their country illegally, and then they removed you because you're a little terrorist.
Waters and against our will, bringing us to Israel, keeping us in the bottom of the boat, not letting us getting out, and so on. But that is not the real story here. The real story is that there is a genocide going on in Gaza and a systematic starvation following the siege.
Probably the worst genocide on the planet then.
And blockade now, which is leading to food, medicine, water that are desperately needed to get into Gaza is prevented from doing so.
She hasn't got a clue what she's talking about, and she's looking for someone else that is pointing out and telling her what to say. It's a puppet. And this is the thing with her. She's hasn't got a clue what she talks about most of the time. She sits there and she'll tell you, like most people, about the genocide going on in Palestine. And they say about the food not getting to the people, but they don't talk about Hamas stopping the lorries. And people go, oh, well, there's no evidence of that. And you show them the video and they go, well, why isn't it on mainstream media? Because mainstream media couldn't really care less. But then, that being said, most of the population don't care. Most of the population that I know, you even talk to people that don't follow news, weather, they will tell you they've got bigger things to worry about. They're worrying about feeding their kids. They're worrying about looking after their kids. They're worried about paying their rent. They're worried if they're going to have a roof over their head. They're worried about if they're going to get to work or not. And this is the problem. Everyone thinks that everyone should care about everything. If you did that, and I've said to people, so do you care about the Congo? And they're going, I don't know what's going on in the Congo. So why don't you care about that? Well, it's not in the media. Okay, so you only care about things in the media when you can make a point. And they go, oh, well, that's not what I mean. I just haven't got time to care about everything, but I care about this. And I said, why? And they said, oh, well, because the Palestinians are dying. I said, but so are children in the Congo. So are people in other countries. People are still dying in Iraq. People are still dying in Iran. Iran is still a terrorist, paying for terrorists. You've still got ISIS out there. You've still got Hezbollah out there. You've still got Hamas out there. And they go, I haven't got time for all that. So why is it that you care about this? Is because the media have told you you've got to care. And it's like her. She doesn't know a single thing about it. She doesn't care, have a single iota of what she's doing. Because as I said, if you was taking aid to Palestine, why did they need to give them food and water? Because they had none on the boat. Common sense. And the people will say, oh, that was propaganda. They took the food and water and was eating and drinking it because they hadn't eaten or had anything to drink for a little while. It's all propaganda. It's all to say I'm taking a moral high road. And that is the point with this. She needs to stay popular because that is all she's got. Because as soon as she stops doing that, she becomes irrelevant. She hasn't got any new ideas. She can't sit there and talk for more than a minute without looking like a total one out of fool. But everyone will have their opinion, and that's the best thing. We are all allowed our own opinion.